honey, let me just explain something to you. That's where they don't believe that you'll really do it. No, they don't think you'll really do it. And, I've had enough. I've had enough of this crap. You know? The whole thing. Deanna, Jan, Jerry's kids, Linda Wilson, Hal Wilson, Josh and Robbie, Danielle and Stevie, just all of them. The whole thing, you know. I could say mostly Deanna, but I'm going to say Angela this time. She's done this to me so many times. And I look at the next 3 years, or however long. I mean, it took Mom's death to get us to talk again, and I told her I was never going to let this happen again, and I meant it. I wasn't going to let this happen again. But you see, I wasn't allowed to have any feelings. My feelings didn't matter to them. You know, it broke my heart that I hurt Jesse. It broke my heart that they told me that I offended him. I said something to him during his grieving time that really hurt him. Just like I told Angela that when my son died, her brother, when David died, I'm not doing this to try to get her to talk to me again. She is permanently shut out. I'm not going to try to get her to talk to me again. You can really hurt somebody like this. I mean, you really think that they care about you. You think that they love you. And then I was so upset that I hurt Jesse because I had a fondness for Jesse. I've never had a relationship with Jesse. He never seemed to have any interest in me. For whatever reason, you know. All those years I didn't celebrate the holidays, and you know, that's another story that has to do with Deanna cramming religion down my throat. And I picked a religion and I was completely devoted to it, studious to it. I put every bit of my heart, mind, soul, body, and strength into it. Mind into it, just like you're supposed to. You put your entire being into it. And you let it mold you. I cared about Jesse's feelings. I didn't want to hurt his feelings. And then, you know, I'm getting disciplined by my daughter for hurting his feelings, and she goes into this long speech about how Jesse threw something at her and gave her a black eye when she was a little kid, and so she didn't like Jesse when she was a kid because of that. And then she goes into all this stuff about how Jesse is so extremely introverted and a private person, and Jesse doesn't express his feelings, and Jesse is very sensitive. And I knew that Jesse was quiet, but I never knew these things about him. It never came up before. I didn't know how I was supposed to act around Jesse. And the words that came out of my mouth were to do with what Janessa had said at Quinn's birthday party. That last November, when we hung out at Angela and Q's, and I thought we were having a really good visit. Then I even stood there and held Janessa's hand, you know, trying to express some warmth to her. And, you know, trying to hoping that maybe there would be a relationship there. And then when we went to Jerry's memorial, I was thinking that we'd be picking up where we left off, and you know, maybe finally this unit would, you know, and then I find out that I said something to offend Jesse, and Angela's words were all this sympathy for Jesse, and Jesse's so quiet and so, and it must have affected him because his dad was a cross-dresser, and because his parents and they're arguing, and the religious stuff that they had, and whatever it was, but it evidently affected Jesse in some kind of way. And so, okay, I'm just learning about this now, and which it kind of, I guess I kind of knew it in a way, but I didn't realize that. No, I don't care if I don't care if I am beating a dead horse here. You know why? Because I'm not going to be around much longer. I got my date set. I've had enough. I have had enough. I've had enough of these struggles in life. I have had enough of all this hatred and everybody hating me and everybody favoring Deanna and everybody looking at Deanna like she's the gospel and she's the angel of the family. And, you know, I don't like the lies. I don't like the corruption. I don't like the gossiping. I don't like the backbiting. I don't like the narcissism. And I don't like people frowning on me. I beat myself up. I've beat myself up for the last 40 years about things that I went through, things that happened to me in my early 20s, decisions I made because I did not know that I had entered a religious cult, and it really messed my life up. And I've had a really rough go of it in life, and you know, you never get anybody's respect. It's not possible. People just are not going to respect you, no matter how hard you try. Just like inside the religious organization, the Jehovah's Witness I was in, I never got any respect in there either, because I know that most people probably knew what had happened to me. I wasn't free to marry. I mean, brothers didn't even approach me because everybody talked about me. Oh, she's that sister that's not free to remarry. Both of her children were sexually abused, and she's not free to remarry because she forgave her pedophile husband, and so she's not allowed to have a husband. So she has to, you know, this is added on, but she gets to work for less than minimum wage trying to scrape by. And, you know, I've had enough of it. And I put in my gossip column years ago stuff about Uncle Hal. And how, you know, I ought to say it on here. I was trying to tell Uncle Hal. You can just look at this as my goodbye. Okay? These are going to be my goodbye videos. Okay? These are going to be my goodbye videos. This is what I've been working on for the last, let's see, 8 years? I think I'm going to show everybody all of it. I've been giving myself a breast lift for the last 8 years. I've also been giving myself a knee lift. I've also been giving myself an arm lift. You see that? I've been giving myself an arm lift. I gave myself a facelift. A facelift. That's what my pictures are on these sites, is that I am a cutter. That's what this is. I have been giving myself, I am saying goodbye because, you know, back to the point about Uncle Hal. He retired from, he retired from Hallmark and had a great job, and they even put a great big picture of him up on the wall, and I pointed that out to him one time that I knew about it, and I started telling him about an experience I had at Hallmark. There were two experiences I had at Hallmark. I tried to explain them to him, and I was just wanting to get his feedback on it. I don't know if he already knew about it, but his attitude toward me was like, it was the shittiest attitude. What happened was, I was working through a temp service, and let's see. The first time there, I was working up. I don't know if it's upstairs, but it was I guess, I don't even know what time of year it was, but I used to drive all the way up to Hallmark from where I lived on Aztec Court. And this is when just before my daughter moved to Florida. And we were putting these boxes together, these display boxes. And they had the supervisors over us. And it irritated me because I was seeing all these people around that were just lazily doing their job. They were just standing around doing nothing. And for some reason that kind of irritated me. And so I got it moving. I set this whole thing up, this entire department up, and it was me. I did it. I did some kind of cracking the whip, and I got everybody to work faster and to get it organized and put the boxes together faster and get them out, get them out, get them out, get them out, get them out. Next thing you know, my assignment was over. And then this happened again, only this was in the warehouse out there off 291. And they had made a great big mistake somehow. They had all this huge amount of shipment that had came in, and they didn't know how to sort it all out. They were, the managers, the bosses, whatever, the supervisors were all dumbfounded about how they were going to sort this great big mess out of all this stuff. Well, it just so happened that I had a little bit of experience with the SKU numbers and all these other numbers, the numbers that go on the boxes, whatever the hell they're called. So I took big pieces of cardboard, I took a magic marker, and I wrote each item's number down on the on the cardboard and put it in each position around the entire thing. And it got the ball rolling. Everything fell into place, and the managers just stood there and watched in amazement that it was getting done and they didn't have to do nothing. I did that. I was trying to tell Uncle Hal about that, and I was trying to, thinking, wow, I accomplished something. I did something important for once in my life. And there's no credit. Instead, what Uncle Hal did is, well, don't be saying anything bad about my about my work. Don't be saying anything bad about Hallmark. That was the answer that was the response I got for him. I didn't even go into telling him about this. I didn't even bother to explain any of this to him. I just wrote it off. I struggled my whole life. I've been struggling my entire adult life trying to pay bills. Just trying to get by, just trying to have food and not have to be on welfare and to be able to support myself, to try to make ends meet, try to keep my car running. I've never had any money to invest. I tried. I put $1,800 in UMB Bank, and I was so happy. I was so excited about it because I got this out of when I found out that I was making 25 grand a year, that I was able to finally claim my son, and so I was able to go back several years with taxes and collect my earned income credit, and squeeze all that together and throw it into a savings account, and maybe finally have a chunk of money. Guess what? I had to go draw it all out a couple days later. I was trying to think what it was. Maybe it was a car repair. Something went wrong. I had to pull all that money out. I was mad as hell. Oh God. I don't want to say the word hell around Linda. Oh my God. When I worked at Hallmark, I was talking to her on the, or I was on text. It was on text. Somehow I was talking to Linda online. I said the word hell. Don't talk to me like that. Don't use that word around me. I mean, you can't win. There's no pleasing anybody. They all spit on you. Everybody has always spit on me. You know, and the only people that respect me is my clients. As long as they don't know me personally. I guess I must really be a shitty person. I must really be a scab. I must really be a boil on somebody's ass. You know, I think it's because I am just a very, very unworthy person. I am just a real scummy person. I don't even deserve to breathe. What, does it sound like a pity party? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. And I look at the days coming in my old age, and it's like, why? Why? What difference does it make? I don't have anything going for me. My family has deserted me. I don't have any friends. I've been busy working on my personal things. I've been working on my personal things. And it's taken 8 years to get this far, and I'm not going to finish it up. I'm just going to go ahead and check out because I'm tired of it. You know, I can't even say anything right. Good God, I can't even say the right thing. You know, something comes out of my mouth and I get completely fucking attacked for it because I rubbed somebody the wrong way. And I didn't even know I did. And I'm you know, being told that I'm not watching my mouth. You need to watch your mouth closer. You need to keep your mouth closed. You know, here it is, how many weeks later since Jerry's memorial? And she finally decided to tell us about this on Friday, 2 days ago. 3 days ago, this is Sunday. She finally decides to bring this up. And, you know, I have known all along that Jennifer despises me. She's never liked me. I remember, too, was it Mom's funeral or Dad's funeral? I went over to give her a hug outside. She was on her phone, and she acted like it was way too much trouble for her to hug me. She acted like it was a burden for her to have to hug me. You know, it gets old. I get really tired of it. And, you know, they all abandon me and they all think badly of me. And, you know, I'm not going to keep a gun in the house, but I'm going to take care of it. And you can call it the pussy way out if you want to. You can call it the chicken shit way out if you want. But, you know, when a person's had enough, I've got it all planned out. And I'm not going to take this anymore.